Hey guys, Dr. Nick here, looking to talk to you about everything footwear related and why I wear the particular shoes I wear, and then finally maybe some things you might want to think about when choosing your next pair of shoes. So first thing, on a daily basis, what am I wearing? That is the Vivo Barefoot Primus Light Knit, right? This shoe is like a sock. They make other Primus Light versions of this shoe that have a separate tongue, a little easier to get on. But this thing is snug, but once it's on, it's seriously like a glove on your foot, right? So I love Vivo Barefoot. They make a lot of different similar shoes to this, hiking, trail, you name it. But there's also other companies. There's Zero, there's Merrell, a lot of other competitors that are also amazing. I like the look of this, but I'm not partial to any of these companies in general. I think they all make a good shoe. So what do they all have in common with these minimalist shoes? One, very little distance between you and the ground. Why is that great? That means that you can feel the ground. You are grounded in the sense that you are touching the ground. You're getting that we call proprioception, that sense of touch that's sending signals to your brain. It's forcing you to use more muscles. It's keeping your foot strong. Similarly to where I would not wear a cast all day for no reason, I wouldn't put myself in a very thick, cushiony shoe all day. That's going to cause me to get very weak, right? So this is what I wear for daily life. I also lift in it. I also go for some short runs in it, but I don't recommend this shoe or any kind of minimalist shoe for super long road runs on pavement, because there's just not enough cushioning, right? We evolved to run on trails, forest floors, not on pavement, right? So I think the happy medium is to have a shoe with a little bit more cushioning, which I'll show you in a second, for your longer runs. But again, great shoe. Also has that wide toe box, lets my toes spread apart. Why is that important? If your toes are being compressed all day, you're at increased risk of bunions, of Morton's neuroma, that's compression of the nerves between your toes, plantar fasciopathy, Achilles tendinopathy, all these things that are increased risk if you're not using the muscles in your foot that we don't think about much. But on the bottom of your foot, there are these muscles that control and support your feet. If they're not working, where does the stress go? It goes north to your knees and hips, right? So a lot of times people will go into a more cushiony shoe because they find it more comfortable for their knees, hips, and back. Sure, short term that's going to feel that way, but eventually it's always going to be the case where it's going to end up stressing out those joints more, and long term it's just not as ideal to be in a more maximalist shoe than a minimalist shoe. Right? We're pretty certain in the research that is the case. Very flexible shoe, right? All these things that are in common with minimalist shoes. For my longer runs, right, so anything 2 miles plus on roads, I am wearing the Ultra Escalante Racer. They also have a similar shoe that has a plate in it, a carbon plate that has been shown, and these carbon plates have been proven to improve efficiency. So for my upcoming marathon, I will start training in a shoe like that, but for a lot of other runs, I will still be using this shoe because, again, wide toe box. Zero heel to toe differential. So for me, I'm more of a forefoot and midfoot impact person. I don't need a big heel in the back of it. With those big heels, I'm more likely to hit my heel on the ground early instead of hitting the forefoot where I land. Now, if you're someone who is a rear foot impact runner, fine. Maybe you want more of a heel to toe differential. But for me, this works better with my foot design. There's also been some research that finds that has found running with a more forefoot or midfoot impact does reduce stress on the knee and hip. And the knee being the most commonly injured joint in the body of runners, I want to minimize that. So I've adopted a more mid to forefoot impact running style. That took a long time to do, weeks and weeks. Feel free to message me if you have questions about how to do that. But it is definitely something that I have switched to and is a big part of my training. So, like I've said, wide toe box, minimalist, flexible shoe, lightweight. That's what I wear for running, simple. Now, a lot of other companies make somewhat similar shoes, but they don't have that wide toe box, right? A lot of shoes, your Nikes, your Adidas, have that tapered front, which I'm just not a fan of because it compresses my toes. I want those toes to be able to display, right? So a lot of key things here. I want a flexible shoe. I want it to be minimalist depending on what I'm doing, right? Very minimalist for walking around town, for my working with patients, for lifting at the gym, and then a little bit less minimalist for my longer runs, but still relatively minimalist. Low stack height. I don't want that big, thick cushion. Very small or no heel to toe differential, and then very flexible. All right, there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.